So hello and welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is the Thursday edition, which is my bariatric journey. So I thought I would fill you in on what went on this last week. And if you hear lots of rain and thunder, we have a storm moving through. So we just had a big clap of thunder a minute ago. I like thunderstorms. So yeah, so just bear with the rain outside and we will get started. So this past Friday, I had my appointment with the nutritionist. And in order to do that, I had to complete some homework. I had to do a food journal for 4 days so I could track what I was eating and they could see what I was eating. So I actually have continued to keep that food journal just because it makes me more conscious of what I'm putting in my mouth. And I want to get into the habit of doing that because I want this to be successful. So I've been doing that, but I had to do for 4 days, and then the nutritionist reviewed what I had been eating and kind of saw whether I was getting enough protein, enough water to drink, you know, what my calories were that I was eating and everything like that. So she did that. And then I also had to watch 3 or 4 nutritional videos walking you through the 4 different dietary plans that you will work your way through after the surgery. So the 4 dietary plans are a full liquid diet. You have a clear liquid diet while you're in the hospital, which is just 1 day. Then you have a full liquid diet, which can consist, you can add some cream soups into it, some yogurt, some things like that. And then from the full liquid diet, then you go to a pureed diet, which is soft food, but you put it through a food processor. Some people eat baby food. I'm not eating baby food. I didn't like it when I gave it to my kids. So I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to be pureeing using my little food processor. I have one of those little mini ones, so I'm going to be using that to puree my food. And then from there you move to a soft diet, which could be like, you know, custards, meats that are soft, that are easy to digest, you know, like ground beef that's crumbled up. So yeah, soft diet. And then finally you move back to a regular diet after that, just less calories. So, and you do need to concentrate on getting your protein in first because you're not eating as much. So you want to make sure you get your nutrients. So she sat down with me and said everything I had come up with looked good. She said I was a little optimistic as far as how much I thought I would be. She says the amounts that I put down that I thought I would be eating, she said those are correct amounts, but not to expect that the first day or 2 of the diet. That's something that you would work up to. So, you know, she said, you know, the full liquid diet where they want you to have 64 ounces, she says you more than likely are only going to have maybe 30 because your stomach is still, you know, you can only adapt so much. So she said everything I had was right. It was just based on after I'd been on the diet a little bit. So everything was good with that. So then she said she was going to pass me over to the behavioral psychologist to get that appointment scheduled. And she said, well, they should be getting in contact with you in, you know, next week or the week after. Well, I no sooner got off the video appointment with the nutritionist, and my nurse scheduler called, and she actually got me set up with the appointment. I made the appointment, but she gave me the phone number and who to get in contact with. So I have my psychiatric evaluation before surgery on September 21st, which I wish it was closer. I did put in for, I told them if you get a cancellation, please let me know because I will work my schedule around it. So I just have that in the blood work. And if I get through the psychiatric evaluation, we're ready to go. And they will schedule my surgery from there. Now here's the funny thing. I went on Monday for a cortisone shot in my knee. I can only get them once every 3 months. And as you know, that part of the reason I'm going through this surgery is for knee replacement. Okay, I have lost a little weight and I really didn't have that much to lose. I have 13 pounds before I will be qualified for surgery at the hospital I'm having it done at. I'm not sure if my insurance will allow that, the BMI of 45, but my doctor allows the BMI to be 45 at one particular hospital. So The soonest I could get that done, the knee replacement, would be the middle of November, because they have to wait for 3 months after a cortisone shot for it to get out of your knee, completely out of the joint, before they can do the surgery. Which could also be about the time that all the information for the bariatric surgery comes through, because if my appointment stays on the 21st of September and then they put it through, it takes 6 to 8 weeks for the surgery to be okayed by the insurance. So I could be going, which should I do first? I do think I'm going to still go ahead with the bariatric surgery first, even though my knee is bothering me, simply because I would rather get the BMI a little bit lower, because the lower it is, the better the chances of healing are. So I think I will go through the bariatric surgery first, and then I have to work up so that I'm able to exercise again after the bariatric surgery, because you will have physical therapy after the knee surgery. So that's been my dilemma the last couple days. Which should I go for first at this point? So I'm leaning more toward the bariatric surgery, but we will see which happens first at this point. So yeah, my knee it is feeling a little bit better from the cortisone shot. Sadly, the knee is so bad that the cortisone shots don't last 3 months or 6 months anymore. They last about 2 or 3 weeks. And I can't have another one, so I hobble around a little bit. And last week, we went into a Walmart super center, and Dave was looking for shirts, and I had to go get some vegetable oil. So I was like, those stores are huge, and I didn't want to be hobbling around that far on my knee. So I got into one of those little scooter things. I probably terrorized all the customers in the store, but I got into one of those little ones, and I had noticed that, the steering wheel was covered with a plastic bag, and I just figured, well, it's on there so that they can sanitize it easier. So I had problems figuring out how to make it run at first, because I couldn't see the instructions because the bag was covering it. So I take off, I get to the other end of the store where the vegetable oil and stuff is, and as I'm putting it in the basket, it starts going beep, 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 and it's slowing down, and I'm thinking, oh no, don't let this thing die at the other end of the store, and I have to abandon it somewhere discreetly. So I'm like limping the thing all the way back to the entrance of the store, which is like quite a ways away. By the time I back into the spot and I'm plugging it in, this lady in an electric wheelchair that worked at Walmart comes whizzing around the corner, and she goes, oh, that battery in that one was completely dead. And I said, yeah, I found that out. She says, that's why I covered it with a plastic bag. And I went, I thought it was there so it was easier to sanitize and wipe down. And she got to laughing, and she said, well, I didn't think about that. I said, that's what I thought it was for. So she says, you want me to go get you another one? And I was like, no, if I can just get a cart, I can hold on to something and kind of hobble around with that. So she ran over, grabbed me a cart, and yeah, I just kind of clung to the cart the rest of the shopping expedition. But yeah, that was funny. It reminded me when my grandmother was still alive. I took her out shopping. Well, I always had a fun time with my grandmother out shopping, because she was in her 90s at the time, and I didn't want her walking around Walmart. So I put her in a wheelchair, and I'm wheeling her around Walmart, not thinking, I was a nurse. You'd think I'd know how to drive a wheelchair better, but the little feet thing were sticking out, and it stuck out just a little too far. I ran it into a stack of Rubbermaid tubs. The tubs came falling down toward my grandmother. She just stuck her hands out and caught them all. I was like, wow, that was quick reflexes, Grandma. And she got to laugh, and I said, aren't you glad I drive better than this? And she says, yes, I definitely am glad you drive better than this. So yeah, we didn't let Grandma get in a scooter though either, because my mother took her out one time, put her in a scooter, and it got stuck and kept going. She was doing donuts in the middle of the aisle, so we decided we would push her instead. So what does her granddaughter do? Run her into the Rubbermaid tubs. But yeah, I do drive better than I push wheelchairs, and apparently drive scooters where the batteries die on them. So anyway, that is it for this week. That's how far the progress is at this point. And there will not be a bariatric video for a few weeks, because I don't have anything going on at this point until after the psychiatric evaluation. we'll hope that they don't like think I need to be certifiable or something. Well, I am certifiable sometimes, but you know what I mean. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. That's the only doctor's appointment. Well, no, I was a little nervous about the nutritionist too, but that one went very well. So I'm sure this one will too, and I'm getting myself all nervous about nothing. But yeah, this is the last step. So stay tuned in a few weeks when I come back with my visit from the behavioral psychologist. So thanks again for your support and for watching me. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again on Saturday. Bye, everybody.